I am literally in the middle of recording the parses for this video. My previous run was 65 bill. Or 66. And that was with the full Malice set. Oh, okay. Alright, fine. You win. Yo, what is going on, my fellow viewers? Krono here, and welcome back to the channel. So, man, I did some testing, and I have been a little all over the place with my testing, but I think I finally gotten everything down packed. I wanted to give you guys my testing on the current raid armor sets and give you guys some information about the new sets that are on the horizon and what I feel like you should be doing if you're trying to go for the absolute best case scenario for yourself and your progression when it comes to Crystal of Atlan. So, disclaimer. I do not claim to be the end all be all as far as information goes. I do not have any insider information that I cannot give you guys as of yet. I'm being honest in this situation. I would flat out tell you, hey, I know something and I couldn't tell you if that were the case. Because I don't mind telling you, hey, I'm under NDA. I can't tell you things, but take that for what you will. But that is not currently what's happening at this point in time. Right now, we have no idea about what's going on in the future. We're making educated guesses based on what we've currently experienced. So I'm going to use that to give you the best case information, best case scenario that I can possibly provide you with the information we have here today. So if you want a TLDR, I'm gonna hit you with a TLDR of the information, and then I'm going to give you more pertinent information as well as, of course, the parses and all that stuff, and how we tested and everything else. So TLDR, as far as armor sets go, I hate to admit it, but yes, 221 is the strongest set currently available. Behemoth helmet, Behemoth boots, with glimmer scale gloves as well as pants. The black feather chest is going to give you the highest amount of damage that you can get access to at this current level. That is followed by the Touch of Malice set. Now, the thing about Touch of Malice is this isn't going to be good for everyone. It's going to be good for people that are able to utilize fundamentals and quenching, and it is going to be betting on its damage in the future with the transcendent technique that we'll have access to, as we will get a better option for this third slot instead of something like kill streak. We'll have transcendent technique, which is going to be very, very powerful. So you will see a massive bump in the damage that is available for Malice. If you're not able to utilize fundamentals and quenching, you're going to find that your damage is going to be quite a bit lower. Actually, probably one of the worst sets available out of the entire setup. And then technically at the bottom of the list is supposed to be Glimmer. These are all the DPS sets. If you're like, oh, what about Behemoth? Full Behemoth is for support Scytheguard, and that's pretty much it. I've heard people argue for support Cloud Shredder as well, but I don't pretend to understand that situation itself. I'm not even gonna go into it. Cloud Shredders, feel free to sound off in the comments below if that's something you guys are passionate about. But as far as the weakest set that you can go with is technically supposedly Glimmer. Now, keep in mind, this set only works at the current tier of gear. This does not work past this, and I'm going to go into more detail exactly why, but that is the TLDR. The number one is 221, and by a fairly large margin. I'm going to probably have the parses up on the screen right now so you can see them side by side, and yeah, it kind of blew the rest out of the water. I think I had like 65 with Glimmer, 66 with Malice, and that's because I can actually utilize this stuff, and then 73 with 221. And I haven't tested it personally because I honestly, I don't believe in it being better. Someone else more than welcome to go down that route if they feel like it, but there is a chance that could be even better with using Anomaly Break as well. Anomaly Break providing damage to debuffed and then extra damage on these these different damage types could be very, very powerful as well. But that's something we tested here. 221 was actually so good, I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and talk about it and give you guys the information. But yeah, that's a TLDR. If you guys want just that information, you're good to go. You're all set. Don't worry about it. Cool. Now, if you want more pertinent information or I guess more detail as to what I recommend and why I personally do not recommend 221, stick around. Let's talk about it. So, the armor sets we have, like I mentioned, Glimmer, Malice, and 221 being Behemoth helmet, boots, Glimmer gloves, pants, and then of course feather breastplate. As far as testing goes and how this all set up, all of the pieces of gear are equal, meaning that Behemoth helmet, and boots. And basically this entire set has all of the same best case scenario inscriptions on them, as does Malice, have all the best case scenario inscriptions on it, as well as Glimmer Scale. They all had the exact same insignias. But if you look, depends on if it gets included, if my editor likes to meme me a bit, if it gets included. But funny enough, when I was going to show the sets off, this was missing an insignia, which is pretty big. So funny stuff there, but that's been taken care of. Everything is good. All the testing was done with everything having full insignias, everything having full setup. The only thing that we could not get exactly the same is going to be the calibration. And that's just something I don't have control over. They didn't give us enough resources to be able to do this. So that's just how it goes on the test server. Now, what else do we do? What else we're missing as far as this testing goes? Circuits, we're kind of just run of the mill. They're weighted towards electro, nothing too crazy here. Outfit wise, Golden Prime title has no RNG. So as long as you're not using Supreme one, you're good to go. And the aura does have a, alternating buff from 5 to 10%. I don't know if it's consistent or if it is randomized, so I just didn't bother. We took it off, no aura buff, everything else is just damage, and we're good to go. Cards, we're running Sinful Iron Hook, Shadow Void, and Ancient Guardian. One thing to keep in mind is that the pants of this set, the Glimmer Scale pants, can activate Ancient Guardian. So technically you have a little bit more Ancient Guardian uptime with Glimmer Scale pants than you do otherwise. So 2 out of the 3 sets did have that advantage, but we also did run Toast as well as Full Food. So I did go in with Full Food plus Toast. If I can pull it up here really fast. Am I blind? I am blind. I'm sorry. Full Food plus Toast. So we did pop Toast on cooldown. So I did, no matter what the set was, we just popped it on cooldown. So if the pants got an extra proc, it got an extra proc in the same spot, no matter what the situation was. So very straightforward, very simple, cool stuff there. And that's pretty much it. We tested and ran 90-second runs. That's pretty standard since Fleece is 90 seconds. And 221 came out ahead. Now, why don't I recommend 221? What's my issue with 221 and what's the big problem here? If all you care about is damage in the current regime of gear, if you were like, I want the most damage right now and nothing else, then 221 is your play. If you are a whale and you plan on being as powerful as possible moving forward and progressing properly, I say properly, I mean like not wasting any resources and progressing fairly quickly, then you want to go full Malice. Even if your class isn't great with Malice, you will be once we have access to the better inscriptions, because you'll be able to slot them all in and take advantage of them at a high level. And if you don't fit either one of those brackets, then you go Glimmer. And the reason you go Glimmer, realistically, is because you want to make sure that you're able to upgrade your gear. Now, I mentioned keeping your progression consistent and not wasting any resources. What am I talking about? So the process of upgrading your gear, as you can see, costs these conches along with one of these blueprints. Now, when you get the next set of gear, because CN realistically had no idea that they were getting another left side set. They were pretty sure that they were getting right side, basically upgrading accessories as we've upgraded our armor multiple times, but that was not the case. The next raid upgraded left side as well. So Touch of Malice, Glimmer Scale, and Behemoth all upgraded to another set. And that also required conches. And you were not able to swap. You had to first swap the gear at this level and then upgrade it if you wanted to go ahead and upgrade the gear. And the biggest issue is that next set of gear, because of the way it works out, the moment you upgrade a single piece, breaks 221 immediately, meaning it does not work. So let's say, for example, you had the Behemoth helmet and you're like, oh, well, upgrade the helmet. That way I still have this helmet set bonus and that sort of thing. Nope, the new gear does not activate the Black Feather set. And what's making the 221 so powerful is you're taking advantage of 4 set bonuses. You've got the set bonus of 3 and 5 here, the set bonus of 2 here, and the set bonus of 2 here. The second you upgrade anything, set bonus broken. And the only way you don't lose out on a massive chunk of damage is by changing everything to one set and then upgrading it. So realistically, if you were to do something like this, you could, in theory, gather up all the resources you need to be able to switch everything over. However, that brings me to the next thing I'm concerned about. When we got the Black Feather raid, we got through it so quickly that they gave us the event. I'm sorry, we had so little amount of time to get like this gear before the next raid came out. They not only gave us an event to give us our Black Feather gear quickly, They also have made it cheaper for us to be able to make our Glimmer gear or a Malice gear, or whatever it happens to be. As you can see, normally it is 68 conches. It's like 80 something on CN, meaning that they anticipate us getting the gear faster. They've reduced the amount we've needed for it. So I also am pretty sure they're going to release another one of those events where they kind of speed run us through the gearing process. There's like, you know, those extra resources that we can get to get our gear upgraded. And the reason I'm pretty sure of this is because if you look at the release schedule, it's kind of pushed forward a little bit. Now they can't do it too quickly because, you know, whales are gonna be upset. They're not able to utilize the gear that they have and things like that. So they get less value. But if I remember correctly, and feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, Ghostblade, or Karma Slayer now is what it's called, came out during the 80 patch of CN. If things go the way it's going right now, we're going to get it during the 70 patch, which is a pretty massive difference. That's not really a problem because Ghostblade, of course, had 70 gear on CN. So I'm pretty sure they feel okay with releasing it because of that reason, but we're already getting classes earlier. I'm sure the raid is going to come out in the next month or two, realistically speaking. And then before the end of the year, we're going to have the next fighter subclass as well. So things are coming fairly quickly. In the back of my mind, it's starting to feel like they're pushing for parity, which would be better for the development team overall because they would only have to develop one version of the game, not two. But it really just depends on where we're going to be. If they push for it too quickly, you can cause problems. And because of all this, and because of all the extra resources you're going to waste, I can't realistically recommend going 221. Through my testing, originally I found it was kind of being a bit worse. I kept pushing and testing again, and tonight I finally did one last test, and like it blew the others out of the water. So I ran it back again and again and again to make sure, and it did it consistently. So it's definitive. 221 is definitely better than the other sets. However, it is very ill-advised. It is very front-loaded with your damage, and you are likely going to end up in a situation where you will fall behind when the next raid comes out. So it's up to you. If you want to go that route, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to go full Glimmer, to be honest. And maybe, just maybe, set up a 221 setup and then have that stuff set aside. But we'll have to see. Either way, guys, that's all I've got for you today. If there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know. Like I said, I'm going to include the parses. It might just be screenshots of the very endings, or it might be the entire parse that's included in there as well. It just depends on what my editor decides to do. I'm going to leave that up to him. I'm going to see what looks good. But that's all I've got for you today. Either way, guys, take care, my friends. Peace out.
Windblade! Fleeting shadow! Windblade! Swift attack! Windblade! 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 Swift attack! Windblade! Swift attack! Windblade! Swift attack! Windblade! Swift attack! Fleeting shadow! Swift attack! Windblade! Take him! Windblade! Swift attack! Windblade! 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 Fleeting shadow! Swift attack! Windblade! 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 Take him! Windblade! Swift attack! Swift attack! Windblade! Windblade! Swift attack! Windblade! Swift attack! Fleeting shadow. Take. Wind blade. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift attack. Wind blade. Swift attack. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift attack. Wind blade. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Fleeting shadow. Swift attack. Wind blade. Wind blade. Take. Wind blade. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift attack. Swift wind blade. Wind blade. Swift wind blade. Swift attack. Swift. Swift attack. Swift. Wind blade. Flowing form. Blade shadows. Wind blade. Wind blade. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift. Wind blade. Swift. Wind blade. Flash. Wind blade. Fleeting shadow. Wind blade. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Wind blade. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift attack. Wind blade. Fleeting shadow. Wind blade. Swift take. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Wind blade. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Swift attack. Wind blade. Swift fleeting shadow. Wind blade. Swift. Wind blade. Swift attack. Swift attack. Wind blade. Wind blade. Swift attack. Take. Wind blade. Swift. Wind blade. Swift wind blade. Fleeting shadow. Wind blade. Swift wind blade. Wind blade. Swift attack.